Hello, EKN Nation. We're back at it once again with a new OutLap preview podcast, episode number 110. My name's Rob Howden, joined by David Cole here on July 29th as we get set up for this coming weekend's 2026 RMC Trophy Final down at Newcastle Motorsports Park. Let's dive into the show today, presented by Parolin USA. Parolin USA is North America's source for Parolin products. The brand is rich in history and success, dating back to the early 1990s throughout Europe. Today, Parolin is among the winningest brands in the USA and around the world. Carters can head to the ParolinUSA.com website, where the entire chassis line and parts are available to you, with shipping available across North America within 48 hours. Get on the chassis that's winning. Drive a Parolin. All right, folks, let's dive into this one here. As I said before, the RMC Trophy Final. Lots on the line here this coming weekend at Newcastle Motorsports Park. The official dates for the event, July 31st to August 2nd, 2026. Dave, the fifth edition of the event, and weather looks like it's kind of rolling through with the same temps as we had last weekend.
Yeah, I don't think I updated the weather, so I didn't even look at it, Rob. That deals with the chaos and life.
Hold on one second. Let me just bring up my
I'm
app.
pulling it up right now because as you talked about the weather, I was like, oh, wait, that's the one thing I forgot to update on this script.
Hilarious.
Because, as I saw earlier in the week, rain is on the forecast. That's the big problem. Saturday, 79% chance. Sunday, 42% chance. But Friday is going to be great. High of 83. No rain. So, we might see some rain tires throughout the weekend. I
like that. I think it's interesting.
You may not like that because you're not there.
That's true. But you know how much I love racing in the rain.
It's definitely unique. We saw this last year at the event in October, where rain was a factor in the main events. I don't think we had rain until the main events actually last year. So, it tends to be a scenario that we come through with Rotax racing. We didn't have any in Tucson though, so that was
listen.
Good.
First and foremost, if it does, it's not going to be cold at least.
It's not going to be cold. Yes, that is a positive.
That's
yes.
a big positive.
That's a
cold rain, maybe not so much as a warm rain. So, anyways.
No, but an event like this, weather, you don't want to really see weather dictate how the event plays out. But that's just the way it's going to go, I guess. Hopefully, we'll see. You never know; it could blow through. It could be like an all evening rainstorms and stuff like that. So, we'll see what happens.
Let's have a look at the event notes, Dave. What track are we going to run on?
That's the unique thing. So for the first time ever, they're going to go in the counterclockwise direction because we have done the clockwise direction, which is reverse for everybody that goes to the Newcastle Motorsports Park. So actually going to be on the same layout as last weekend's Supercards USA Summer Nationals. So it's going to be the National plus Monza in the counterclockwise direction. So no changes there. From last week to this week, but definitely the first time going in the counterclockwise direction.
This event, David, has been run at Newcastle Motorsports Park 5 straight times now. It's kind of the place they like to run this trophy final.
Yeah, the predecessor, the U.S. Grand Nationals, which was the kind of the highlight of Rotax racing here in United States, went from track to track, moved all over the country. But with Race Rotax looking to establish the event, they've kind of considered the Newcastle facility its home. That's where it has been for now 5 straight years. I don't see anything changing in the near future. Obviously, with 2027 schedule already out, this event's going to be back probably at Newcastle Motorsports Park once again. And then again with the whole Karting Solutions Group and TPK Promotions forming that alliance for this event and for the future going into next year, I got to believe that we'll be back here once again for the 6th running of the event at Newcastle Motorsports Park.
Let's have a look. Run us through the schedule. I know you're heading down there tomorrow to get things underway for the weekend coverage. What's the schedule look like?
Unofficial practice tomorrow on Thursday. That will be probably run by both the track and the TPK Promotions, however you want to call that. Friday will be the all practice, the official practice day, 5 rounds. So very similar to what we saw with the Summer Nationals last week. 3 rounds of 7-minute sessions, go into a 12-minute round session, and then 7 minutes for the final round of practice. Then we'll get into the racing aspect of it on Saturday with warm-up qualifying. We'll have 2 heat races to wrap up the action on Saturday. Both are 8 laps in distance, 7 for the cadet divisions. And then go into Sunday's action, which will be the warm-up superheat, which will be 10 laps, 9 for cadet. And then all that will line up our main event grids, which will be 16 laps, 14 laps for cadet.
Good stuff, folks. On to our first break in the action. When we get back, we'll have a look at by the numbers. We'll let you know how many pre-entries they've got lined up here for this year's RMC Trophy Final. Don't go anywhere. More to come here on the EKN Radio Network. What brand is known around the world for its innovation and success? It is SodiKart. And in the U.S., Velocity Racing is their distributor and official race team. The SodiKart brand is among the top chassis around the globe and here in North America. And the recent successes include the FIA Karting World Championships in KZ last year and in multiple championships and at different levels here in the USA. The French manufacturer is a leader within the karting industry, offering a wide range of products. The Sodi Racing chassis line offers products in classes from mini karts to KZ, all based on years of development and championship seasons around the world. Velocity Racing also works with its expanded dealer network, bringing the Sodi brand to several local clubs and regional programs. Visit velocityracing.com to learn more about the SodiKart chassis and the racing program, or call 407-270-3042 to become part of the Velocity Racing network today. Velocity Racing and SodiKart, leaders in the karting industry. Is IndyCar your dream? If it is, for 2024 and beyond, the path from karting to IndyCar has gotten even clearer. It's time to look into the new USF Juniors program and the Tatis JR23. As the first step of the USF Pro Championships presented by Continental Tires, the USF Junior Series will feature a 6-event, 13-race schedule to train racers for the move into the USF 2000 Championship presented by Continental Tires. 3 of the events in 2024 will run alongside IndyCar at Mid-Ohio, Road America, and Portland. The champion will win a scholarship worth over $263,000, and there's a total prize fund that will exceed $330,000. The series utilizes the state-of-the-art Tatis JR23 race car, which is a development version of the USF 22 used in USF 2000. It's the ideal entry point for career-minded karters moving into the car racing ladder. Safety is always front and center in the minds of the series promoters, and the new USF Juniors car also features the Halo, and races are supported by members of the AMR IndyCar safety team. If IndyCar is your goal, USF Juniors is the starting line. For more information, visit www.usfjuniors.com and follow USF Juniors on social media. Welcome back to the EKN OutLap, kicking off our EKN Trackside live coverage of this coming weekend's RMC Trophy Final down at Newcastle Motorsports Park. The event date, July 31st to August the 2nd. David Cole will be trackside all weekend long. Today's show, the preview, brought to you by Parolin USA. David, let's do our quick segment here into the By the Numbers. We'll also talk about the 6 Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals tickets up for grabs and those entries to the SCUSA Super Nationals that have been added to the race. What are we looking at for By the Numbers here right now? What do you get in terms of pre-registration?
Rob, one of the new things about this event is the addition of the FZ shifter categories. That's something we saw with the RMC America's Trophy program that had the FZ 125 senior category and FZ 85 junior category. So those 2 categories are continuing to be part of this 2026 program with this one-off event. But they're also bringing in the new FZ 65 category, which will be an arrive and drive program run by FZ Shifter, including the factory kart chassis with the FZ65 engine. So drivers in the cadet age will be coming in, 12 of them, to do an arrive and drive program for this program that is still kind of in its growth development. It was a demo category that we saw 2 years ago at the Super Nationals during a lunch break. So again, it's still in its growth pattern. So we'll have 12 arrive and drive for that. We got 9 in the FZ 125 category and 7 in FZ 85.
Nice.
So those 28 entries help boost the total entry numbers up to 130, which is now a new record, surpassing last year's number, which was at 109. So if you take out those 28, we're at 102 for just the 5 different, 5 Rotax focus categories.
Yeah, and you know what? Senior Max and Junior Max are big fields. 32 drivers, Senior Max, the largest pre-entry field we have so far. Again, any kind of walk-up still potential for the weekend, but 32 drivers, David, in Senior Max, 31 in Junior Max. Those are 2 big fields for the primary categories.
Yeah, that's what we saw last year at this event, where we had almost sold out fields in this category, in those 2 categories. So it's a positive in the right direction, considering, looking at the international numbers that we were hoping to have this year, didn't really necessarily get due to the lack of getting registration out and ready and going before the event was getting ready to take place. So but yeah, still overall, that means there has been some growth in Rotax racing here in the U.S. over the last couple of seasons. Yeah,
no doubt about that. So with the senior and junior max categories, very similar at 32 and 31 respectively. Same goes for the cadet categories. There's 16 in mini max and 15 in micro max. So very similar there with good fields, and then 8 drivers in the masters max category as well. So David, good numbers, 130, as you said, 102 are actual Rotax categories, the other 28 are the FZs. So it's going to be a good field. 130 is a strong entry. And those drivers coming in from all over the world as well. A lot of Canadians, a handful from the UK as well, and other countries are represented as well.
Yeah, we only had 5 in micro last year. And due to the fact of there was no ticket available last year, I think that was the main reasoning for that. So now a ticket is available in that category. So boom, the numbers come up. So yeah, to have 31 total in the cadet category certainly helps. But yeah, looking at the countries represented here in the event, we have 7 countries represented, including 98 drivers from the USA. Canada takes the second spot with 21 drivers coming down to compete. 5 drivers from the UK, but we have 3 from Japan. So that's a pretty cool program that continues to work with Race Rotax and the Japan Rotax program over there. And then a driver from Costa Rica, China, and Peru as well on the entry list.
Let's dive into the tickets. You mentioned already the addition of the Micro Max ticket. What we got in terms of tickets for the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals 2026?
Excuse me. 6 Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals tickets up for grabs on the weekend. 1 in micro, 1 in mini, 1 in junior max, 1 in masters max, and then the senior max will have essentially 2 tickets available through that program. Obviously 1 for senior max at the RMC Grand Finals, and then another one to compete in the DD2 category. So very similar to what we saw last year when Paulie Massimino was awarded a ticket in the DD2 category and raced for the first time ever in the DD2 category at the Rotax Grand Finals.
All right, so give me the breakdown here on the entries for the SCUSA Super Nationals. There's prizes up for FZ Shifter as well, but obviously they announced that SCUSA Super Nationals is going to run the Rotax, a couple of Rotax classes this year. How's that playing out?
Okay, so yes, there are 3 segments in terms of our awards program. So we just went over the Rotax Grand Finals tickets. The next is the 9 entries that are going to be awarded to Superkarts USA Super Nationals 29, which will be running this November. The top 3 finishers in Senior Max are awarded an entry to the Super Nationals in Senior Max category. The Mini Max category, the top 3 finishers there will be provided a Super Nationals 29 entry. Those 2 categories are going to be running at the Super Nationals. But also there will be an entry provided to a podium finisher in the Micro Max, the Junior Max, and Masters Max categories as well too. The breakdown of all this is a little bit obviously crazy. How it all kind of shakes down. The Rotax Grand Finals tickets, now that can be passed down the finishing order. Okay. So say none of the top three and say Senior Max want to go to the Grand Finals. So they will go down the finishing order until people will accept the Grand Finals tickets to go.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So say maybe fourth place will take the ticket in Senior Max. Okay. That person's going to go in Senior Max. Fifth place, they take a ticket. They'll go and represent whatever country in the DD2 category. So that's essentially how it'll work out for both Senior Max and Mini Max, to where that Rotax Grand Finals ticket will be passed below the podium until accepted. Okay. I guess is essentially
all right. There you have
how you kind of rule that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm trying to read my notes here and trying to figure this out exactly how it goes. So in Micro Max, Junior Max, and Masters Max, where there will be one entry available, to the Super Nationals or a Rotax Grand Finals tickets, those first two drivers on the podium, or even the third, however it works, the first two drivers, they'll have the choice. They can either take Super Nationals entry or they can take a Grand Finals ticket.
Okay. Yep.
If that makes sense.
Yep. So they can make their choice of which one they want to go to.
So say, somebody wins the Junior Max this weekend. They can either take the Grand Finals ticket or the choice of racing out to Super Nationals and having an entry there.
Okay.
So you could finish second in Junior Max and end up being the Grand Finals ticket winner. That is now, I think if I'm reading it correctly, if say second or third in these categories do not take the Rotax Grand Finals tickets, I'm going to assume it's going to keep trickling down until it is accepted, because essentially these tickets are bought and paid for. They're ready to go. They're ready to be awarded, to where they just need a driver to accept it in a way. So yeah, it's quite confusing in terms of that. We've had it before where, back before a couple of years ago, we were doing points, and that was a bit confusing as well too. But for say Mini Max, so for any of the Super National entries, they do not go past the podium. So only those on the podium have the ability to that. Right. So do you have any questions, Rob, that I can maybe try and answer?
That's pretty good right now. Let's go to FC Shifter prizes.
You can list that.
So for the FC Shifter category, folks, the winner is going to get a 2027 RMC event entry. So one of the events next year. Second place, a $750 voucher. Third place, a $500 voucher. That's good stuff for the FC Shifter category as well. There's lots up for grabs for these guys running in those three categories, which I think is great. Love it.
Yeah. So again, lots of entries and tickets up for grabs, but essentially, yes, if you're on the podium, you're getting an entry, or you're close to getting an entry, except for, those non-super nationals categories. So it's just a lot to kind of unpack, and we'll see how well we do at the podium.
There you have it. All right, folks, off to our first break here, our second break rather. When we get back, we will start diving into class by class previews. We'll go Senior Max and Masters Max up next. A new way to compete in fast, reliable, and affordable racing is taking over the globe. The Tillotson Racing T4 concept is building momentum around the world, and it's expanding in the United States under the T4 Series USA operation. The T4 Series kart package is a spec class program featuring the spec Tillotson chassis, Tillotson engine, and spec Maxxis T4 tires that move the emphasis away from budget and onto driver. The T4 Series USA is working with kart tracks across the country, including the home-based T4 Kartplex, Orlando Kart Center, Music City Kartplex, and Lorain, Ohio Kartplex. The Texas Sprint Racing Series has signed on to offer the T4 Senior category this season, along with the T4 SoCal program that's already established. The T4 Series Eastern Cup is a 3-race program traveling to Tennessee, Ohio, and Florida this year, while the Florida Karting League Championship is set to host T4 categories in 2026. The new T4 America's Cup is a cooperation with T4 Series Mexico, and the program will feature a 2-race championship format for Tillotson Racing. Throughout the season, Tillotson racers will be competing for a ticket to compete at the coveted T4 Nations Cup, which is set for September 30th to October 4th at the Cartodromo Internacional Lucas Guerrero in Valencia, Spain. To learn more, head to T4SeriesUSA.com. Made in the USA. It's not just a statement, it's the mission at Factory Karts of America. Led by 5-time Super National champion Billy Musgrave, Factory Karts manufactures their frames completely in-house at the Phoenix, Arizona facility. Built and designed from the ground up specifically for the American karting market, Factory Karts brings new innovations and solutions that are long overdue. Factory Karts bring together the highest quality materials to produce high-performance, long-lasting karts that have been designed and perfected from years of development. No other karting manufacturer stands behind its product as Factory Karts does, providing a 2-year warranty on all their frames. Join the Factory Karts official race team this season, hitting the SuperKarts USA Pro Tour and Pro Kart Challenge, along with the new Southwest Super Series program. Full trackside support for Factory Kart competitors is available, along with Arrive and Drive programs and tent space housed under our new race team hauler that debuted at Super Nationals 27. Remember when American Made meant more innovative, original, stronger, faster, and just plain better? Well, American Made is back. Contact Factory Karts today to join the American Made movement. Learn more by visiting factorykarts.com or email info@factorykarts.com. Welcome back to the OutLap Preview Podcast for this coming weekend's RMC Trophy Final at Newcastle Motorsports Park. David Cole will be there trackside throughout the weekend. David, let's dive into Senior Max. 32 entries coming into this weekend. The biggest field, lots on up for grabs. The Rotax Grand Finals ticket, in as you said, in the Senior Max category, the DD2 ticket as well available for the driver finishing in second. All 3 of the drivers on the podium can potentially get a Super Nationals entry as well. The driver that's been dominating in this particular program, David, 4 straight wins. Oliver Hodgson has been undefeated here at the U.S. Trophy Final.
That is it. Yeah, that's the kind of the headline going into this category. You know, looking back at my notes from last year, it was probably one of the toughest fields in this category. This year, a very similar kind of feel to it, especially with the Canadians coming down and a couple of the big USA names that are in this field. But Hodgson is really kind of the story going in. Can he pull it off? Can he get one for the thumb?
Yeah,
kind of deal.
100% that right. Well, and again, there's some big dogs who are getting ready to go against him. You got a guy like Aiden Ingrata for Racing Edge Motorsports. You know, Aiden's been really focused on that Rotax program. He knows the package very well. Obviously, Oliver Hodgson does as well. But, man, I think Aiden Ingrata is going to be maybe Blake Nash, throw him in there as well as the primary combatants for Hodgson. Would you agree?
So Ingrata won all 4 rounds of the RMC America's Trophy program, our June driver of the month, coming in with wins in Canada as well too. So he already holds a Rotax Grand Finals ticket in his hand. So the one thing I'm going to have to hear and learn about, because I think this event trumps over the RMC America's Trophy program.
What's the hierarchy? Yep.
So the hierarchy of everything. So that's another side of this whole scenario that we deal with every year with the Rotax races and people racing with tickets already. So that's something we'll definitely have to dig into and see what we can come up with. But yes, for sure, Ingrata is going to be one to watch and maybe upset Hodgson's streak.
When it comes to speed at Newcastle as well, Isaac Malkit's always looked very good. Of course, now up into the senior categories, but strong this past weekend at the SCUSA Summer Nationals. Landon Boer was very impressive for us, David, on the GFC. The Indiana driver looked strong. He was kind of right in the fight in KA senior last weekend. Gage Corn as well. We know he's moved into the shifter ranks, but he'll be back as well. Gage Corn has run this race before in the past.
Yeah, he's been a member of Team USA multiple times. He'll actually be doing double duty, racing both this and the FZ 125 category, where he was the America's Trophy champion for the inaugural season.
Any other names that stand out for you here in this massive 32 field of senior max drivers?
Yeah, again, a lot of different names. Again, different countries coming in. A lot of different backgrounds. But yeah, so those are pretty much the main contenders that I've noticed on the entry list.
Macy Williams is one I wanted to give a shout out to. Ryan Raff is back. He's been doing some running as well. But yeah, I think Macy, she's been strong. She's done a lot of Rotax racing as well. So you got to expect she'll be in the fight.
Yeah, without a doubt. She's been another former member of Team USA at the Rotax Grand Finals. She's gotten her ticket racing up in Canada a couple times before. So see if she's able to again, try and get this title away from Hodgson.
And maybe one of the cool things about the Blake Nash program too, but he's back with factory carts this weekend. Is that the case?
Yeah, he did the America's Trophy event at MCC with factory carts and doing that again this time around. Blake showed really well last year at the RMC USA West event that was held at PKRA last year. Nearly pulled off the overall weekend win, but contact took him out of contention for that. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously Oliver, a multi-time and former Rotax Grand Finals winner, wants to go back, but racing alongside Blake Nash, who I would assume really would love to go and represent Team USA at the Rotax Grand Finals. So yes, it's going to be quite interesting to kind of see how all that shakes out.
And among those Canadians that David mentioned, both Arnaud Sabarin and Antoine Lemieux have had some success up in Canada here at the Canadian Open. So those drivers to watch for, most definitely. Masters Max looks like it's going to be decent as well. There's not a huge field, but there's some fast guys for sure. 8 entries in Masters Max thus far for the weekend. Previous winners include Ben Cooper, Danilo Romalho, Lauren Tumardin, and John Bonanno. Lots of stuff up for grabs, as we've talked about already. Rotax Grand Finals tickets, Super Nationals entry, third place, a $500 KSG gift certificate as well. But David, 4 former Team USA drivers on the grid. Let's discuss what we're looking at in Masters Max.
Well, you start with last year's winner, John Bonanno, returning back, looking to add a second straight victory there. The veteran, the long-lasting Billy Cleveland, coming back, who won the America's Trophy Championship. So he's earned the entry into this weekend's event. So he'll be racing again. He was a member of Team USA prior, along with Christopher Mann and Scott Roberts, former Team USA drivers, back in this field once again. So not quite the Masters entry list we were looking for. We were hoping to get in double digits with the Grand Finals tickets up for grabs. But Rob, as we've kind of noticed, the Masters racing is kind of withered away, except for occasional events here and there. But yeah, I'm not sure why. Again, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to go race against the best in the world in Portugal, and not able to pull double digits.
Yeah, kind of surprising on that for sure. I'm again, you and I keep talking about doing a roundtable about it. I think we're going to try to get that done once David's done this run of 3 races that he's doing. We're going to try to lock down a day to bring some Masters drivers on a podcast with us, so we can dive more into it. There's definitely a lull in Masters racing to the point where they're going to start losing positions on these national series. We just wrapped up our debrief for the SCUSA Pro Tour. They only had 6 drivers at Newcastle last weekend. You got to expect that'll be it for Masters KA racing at the Pro Tour. So we'll see how things are going. Only 8 drivers here at the Masters Max for the U.S. Trophy Final. Hopefully we'll see more momentum come in 2027. Off to another break. When we come back, we'll continue our class-by-class preview. Junior Max, Mini Max, and Micro Max up next. Established in 1999, PSL Karting is a powerhouse within the North American karting industry and around the world. PSL Karting is your complete source for all Bureau Art products as the North American importer, providing this top quality product through both their expansive dealer network and through the PSLkarting.com online store. Whatever you need is available 24/7 online, including safety gear, parts, components, and full karting packages. PSL Karting is the importer for the Bureau Art, Charles Leclerc, Kubica, and Barrichello brands of karts, all in stock and ready to hit the track. Grab your winning chassis for any category by visiting pslkarting.com to find your nearest dealer. PSL Karting is always looking for interest in new dealers and teams to help create new business relationships. Drivers looking to take their talent to the next level can join the Bureau Art North America race team, competing at all major USA and Canada events this season. When you're ready to win, go with PSL Karting. There's a new evolution in the karting industry, and it's coming from Foundation Wheel Development. FWD is manufacturing purpose-built steering wheels for youth racers. Offering two different grip sizes, FWD fills the void in a market where only full-size steering wheels exist, so your young driver can maintain a consistent grip feel from kid karts to full-size karts. The rookie models, engineered for 5 to 8-year-olds, and the pro model, designed for ages 9 to 12, offer ideal ergonomics and a hand-matching comfortable grip, noted to decrease hand and muscle fatigue, so your young racer preserves a consistent and confident wheel input feel as they climb the ladder. With a growing product line, FWD has a wheel to suit your needs. Get a grip on the competition and visit fwd-wheel.com to get yours today. Welcome back to the EKN OutLap, kicking off our coverage, the trackside coverage of this coming weekend's RMC Trophy Final at Newcastle Motorsports Park. Myself, Rob Howden, and David Cole, working our way through all the categories now, class-by-class previews. Let's look at the Junior Max class here right now. 31 entries, right there with Senior Max at over 30. So both Junior and Senior are going to be barn burner events with big fields. Previous winners in the Junior Max category here at the RMC Trophy Final include Cooper Auclair back in 2022, Wesley Gundler in 2023, Davin Roberts 2024, and Isaac Malkit last year. Of course, Malkit already moving up to the senior category. Tickets the same for prizes. Grand Finals ticket, P1, SCUSA Super Nationals entry, then the $500 KSG bucks. David, let's dive into the category as well, though. The top 7 drivers from the RMC Winter Trophy are in the field. This is going to be a barn burner. Let's go through those guys that were at that Winter Trophy.
Yeah, Winter Trophy, Leo da Silva, the actual ticket winner after champion Benham Abernathy was too old to take the ticket. So Leo da Silva, already with a ticket in hand, the Canadian, going to be part of Team Canada. He finished second at that, so has a ticket. Aidan Hammond from Great Britain came over and finished third in that. He's in this field. Darren Kidd, one of the older drivers. I'm going to have to confirm and see how old he is and see where that is. But he's going to be with MPG Motorsports on a Kart Republic for the weekend. And then Alex Chandler for Iron Rock Motorsports. He finished 5th at the Winter Trophy program. So 4 of the top 5 in the field from that program.
Yeah, and same goals, right? But not surprising, the drivers that are in the Rotax program, the RMC program, are in the race. There's a number of drivers from the RMC Americas program as well.
Yeah, the Americas Trophy, top 3 drivers in the championship there. Nico Orbezo, the champion, Da Silva, who finished second there as well, and then Enzo Di Janeiro. Those 3 drivers are in the field. Orbezo obviously holding a ticket in hand already to be part of Team USA, coming off a KA Junior victory last weekend at the SCUSA Summer Nationals. So he'll be coming in with some good momentum, and again, using kind of this weekend as a test weekend to keep in road tax shape. And then, same with De Silva Racing this weekend. So we'll see. Again, we got to get that hierarchy figured out again, because these are two of the favorites going into the weekend, obviously with their success already in 2026.
Yeah, give me some good Canadians. David mentioned 20-something Canadians, 21, I think you said, as part of the program. Olivier Chassé from Prime Power Team, Christian Sanguinetti from Premier Karting as well. Some drivers we've been talking about and were this past weekend with William Vitor, running for MPG Motorsports, driver with some local track knowledge. He knows the track very well. Dave Clayton Stiles was with Iron Rock Motorsports and was a guy we were talking about a little bit past weekend. Had a couple, it was at least in the top 5 for one of the races. So a number of drivers here that, coming off that success of the last weekend at the SCUSA Summer Nats, looking to kind of roll that pace into this coming weekend's trophy final.
Yeah, unlike Senior Max, this category is kind of wider open with a lot of different names that could come up through and be successful throughout the weekend and grab that Rotax Grand Finals ticket. So this one's going to be quite interesting to watch, especially with such a large field that we do have.
Let's move to Mini-Max right now with 16 entries. Former winners include Gage Corn back in 2022, Oliver Warner in 2023, Jackson Porter 2024, and Samuel Chavarri last year. Chavarri is the defending champion. Again, the prize is up for grabs. As we know, the Rotax Grand Finals ticket for the winner. All three in the podium will win the Super Nationals 29 entries. Dave, let's have a look and give me some of the highlights of the drivers you see in the Mini-Max category here. Yeah,
as you said, beginning with the defending champion, Samuel Chavarri, raced with Parolin. I just confirmed this today. Raced with Parolin Motorsport USA last weekend, going back to race with PSL Karting on the Burrell Art this weekend, and then we'll return back with Parolin Motorsport USA for the remainder of the 2026 season in USA competition. So an interesting 2 weeks for the Costa Rican, who he was the lone driver, first ever driver to represent Costa Rica at the Rotax Grand Finals last year.
That's awesome. What else we got? You got Joseph Addy, Dutch Westbrook, some of these drivers, Hudson Howard, Aiden Go. You've also got Lincoln Lima. Give me some information on at least what you know from some of these guys.
So Addy was P2 at the Winter Trophy and third in the America's Trophy championship standings. So that the Canadian's certainly looking strong. Yeah. I want to say he's coming off a good weekend last weekend. I think he picked up a victory at the Canadian Open last week. I forgot to confirm that. Okay. As we just talked about Dutch Westbrook in our last podcast a couple hours ago with the Texan winning the Mini Swift both main events and the championship on the weekend. So a lot of momentum coming from him. He finished 4th at the Winter Trophy and 5th at the America's Trophy program. Lincoln Lima, the Canadian, was 5th at the Winter Trophy. So another Canadian to watch. Hudson Howard finishing 2nd at the America's Trophy program. So he's one to watch, especially at his home racetrack of Newcastle Motorsports Park. Aiden Go, we talked about in our podcast a couple hours ago in the mini category. He'll be racing with Parolin Motorsport USA. He finished 4th at the America's Trophy. And Samuel Chavarri, he only did the America's Trophy where he finished 6th in the championship standings.
There you have it. Another driver maybe to watch only because he was very quick last week, and I would say that Slate Harrell would be a guy to watch out for as well. He's really kind of stepping things up over here the last couple of months. So, yeah, that's going to be some good stuff, I think, in the Mini-Max category, 16 in total. Dave, should be some close racing up front.
Yeah, I would say the watch for the two Brits as well, too, Arthur Farrow and Charlie Page. Anytime, we had the Mini-Max Winter Trophy winner was British. I would not doubt the pedigree that these two are probably coming over and looking for that grand finals ticket.
And David, I hate to be stereotypical.
What?
But if it rains, the British guys are going to be fast.
I mean, it's Florida and Pacific Northwest here, right?
That's very true. Yeah, so true.
You can stereotype rain racing all you want.
You can. All right, so let's wrap up the Rotax part of the previews with Micromax. Very similar in terms of the grids: 16 in mini, 15 in micro. Former winners include Marco Samet back in 2022, Lucas Palacio 2023, Cam Becker 2 years ago 2024, and Jack Katowski, the reigning champion. Katowski, I don't believe on the list. I don't think he's on the list. So Grand Finals tickets, Super Nationals tickets, the $500 as well up for grabs. David, let's talk about the drivers who have done well in the Winter Trophy and the America's Trophy that are lined up for this weekend as well.
Yeah, so we'll have a fifth different winner in this category, which will be cool to kind of crown.
Yep.
Looking at the entry list, Trey Sanders did both programs, finished third at the Winter Trophy, fourth at the America's Trophy. Alessio Tosti, I can never get it correctly.
We'll find out. Tosti.
You said his name. I thought you said his name at the Winter Nats. Maybe not. He was the champion of the America's Trophy program, so he's coming in with that. Unfortunately, didn't get the ticket, but got the free entry into this event, along with Tristan Francisco, who was second at the America's Trophy, and then Dusty Strayer finishing third in that championship. I just talked about, I believe, his brother, but Albert. I can never say his name correctly. I just said it earlier. Yeah, Farah. The British driver's coming over. He was second at, I believe, the Winter Trophy. I don't know what I wrote there. My mind's going blank here, right? I don't know what I wrote in my notes there. He finished second somewhere. I don't know where that's from. It might have been. It was the trophy final last year. My mistake.
There you go.
That's where I was trying to get that from.
Cohen Scott, who's running with Mint Motorsports, watch for him to be there. We talked about him in the debrief podcast from the Summer Nationals. He was right there and actually won a pre-final, so he should be pretty quick as well. Other drivers to watch, potentially Grant Heckman as well for that team. Young Grant running in the micro category as well. Bottom line is 15 drivers all gunning after a Rotax Grand Finals ticket. David, cadet categories are going to be fun to watch. They always are in Rotax competition.
Always fun to watch.
All right, another break. And this will be the last one. We'll come back and wrap things up. Time to preview the FZ shifter categories, 9 in 125, and then those 85 and 65s with some solid entries as well. When we get back, we will look at the FC shifter entries for this weekend's U.S. Trophy Final. Wins at the sport's biggest races, as well as championships across all levels of karting, pack the resume for NitroKart. The NitroKart brand has made its statement as the best, fastest, and most reliable cadet chassis on the North American karting market. If you want to win in cadet, both in 2-cycle and 4-cycle competition, get a NitroKart and join the team. Team NitroKart will be at all major events, trackside with Ryan Perry Motorsport, the official race team. Owner Ryan Perry and his RPM operation carries the full selection of NitroKart chassis and parts, while also providing the same driver development focus as NitroKart owner Nick Tucker. You can also join the Team NitroKart race team at all major 4-cycle races this season. Led by longtime NitroKart tuner Cody Johnson, Team NitroKart will be at all the major Cup Karts North America events with arrive and drive opportunities available for all ages. Nitro Motorsports is a true karts-to-karts driver development program that is already gaining success after launching in 2022. Victories and championships in the Trans Am Series has highlighted the team's start, along with the success in the new GR Cup by Toyota. Current and former karters can take advantage of this unique ladder system with NitroKart and Nitro Motorsports. Visit NitroKart online and find them on social media. NitroKart, race one or chase one. Left without a mechanic or a crew to help you at the kart track or in the garage? KartLift Kart Stands is your solution. The company, founded in 2003, is now owned and operated by Ted Fashing out of Cokato, Minnesota, and Ted has decades of knowledge and experience with fabrication. KartLift takes pride in both our quality and our personal customer service that we provide on the phone or at the track. KartLift Kart Stands can be found at racetracks all over the country. If you race alone, or if you're a parent with a cadet or junior driver, let our one-man winch lift make your race days easier. Position the hooks under the rear bumper, push the button, and your cart is raised into position, and you're ready to go. We also have KartLift stackers for storing 2 carts at once, traditional kart stands, single and double upright storage stands, tire changers, and skid plate kits. Race teams and shops can contact us about our state-of-the-art chassis straightening table. If you have an idea for a custom stand, Kartlift can build it for you. All products from Kartlift are made in the USA. Kartlift kart stands are available at many kart shops around the country, or you can order online at kartlift.com. For more information, give us a call at 877-777-8020. That's 877-777-8020. Get a Kartlift today. Welcome back to the OutLap Preview Podcast for this coming weekend's RMC Trophy Final. David Cole, Rob Howden here. David Cole will be trackside. David, let's have a look at the entries that we've got in the FC program, the shifter kart program run under the FC banner with 65, 85, and 25cc categories. Reminds me back in the old days of the Scusa Pro Moto Tour the Supernaturals with the old 60cc novice shifter categories on the Kawasaki back in the day. Let's have a look at the entries for the FC 125 class, 9 in total. Mentioned the fact that there's a 2027 RMC event entry up for grabs. Number of names here. Gage Corn being one. Let's start with Gage Corn. We're talking FC 125 racing.
Yeah, he's the America's Trophy champion coming in. So was able to, I believe he won both races in Tucson and then finished behind Gavin Bailiff at MCC to wrap up the championship for the inaugural program. So he comes in with experience. You have Mason Mitchell, who finished third in the championship. He comes in with experience. And then drivers new to the category that I haven't seen on either a pro kart or at a RMC event. You got Mitchell Lowry, who's raced in the pro shifter category before. You have Dylan North, a driver from Wisconsin, coming down to race in the category. John Crow, a driver with lots of experience and lots of different things, going to be racing in the FC 125 category. So all three of those drivers are going to be making their FC 125 debuts.
Yeah, John Crow, multi-time Super Nationals podium finisher too. So good stuff for that to see him in there as well on an RS kart, a little different chassis for him as well. Let's go now into the next class then, the FZ85 category. We already talked about essentially all the same things up for grabs for the prizes across the board for the FC classes. What are you thinking here right now for the drivers in FZ85? What are your notes saying?
Yeah, you got the top three from the America's Trophy Championship in the field. You got Brandon Ing in the field, along with RJ Brown, who finished second in the championship, and then Wyatt Kroger, the driver from Arizona, finishing third in the championship. The rest of the field are all new to the FZ85 package. I haven't been able to find them in any of the other events that have happened in the country. So all of those drivers are going to be new to this category. So that's going to be it's going to be a mixture of new drivers and drivers who got a number of events under their belts in this field.
How about Christopher Utzi coming off a pole position at the Summer Nats?
Yeah,
jumping in there too, right?
So yeah, and home track knowledge, obviously, racing at Newcastle has literally a garage next door to ours.
He does exactly.
At the facility. So,
Exactly.
So we'll see if the home track knowledge comes into play with that. And we'll have to check and see with these drivers exactly how much shifter experience they may have, because some may be racing at a club at home that we don't know. So he might be one of those shifter kart drivers racing at the KRA program there at Newcastle.
One of the really cool things is that the 85 and the number one, the 65 for sure, but the 85, designed as well for the junior drivers to get back behind the wheel, banging gears. It's something that we've not had for a number of years. And that's, we used to have the S5, junior stock moto package, but that, this FC85 really, for the most part, focused on some of these younger kids, junior kids getting a chance to bang gears. Same goes for the cadet FC65, 12 entries. David, this was a little bit different, a full arrive and drive program, and run by the FC shifter program. Let's talk about the drivers who have signed up for this one here.
Yeah. Looking at the 12 drivers, you have 7 states represented from the 12 drivers. So a good kind of diverse field that we're going to have. Looking at drivers who have already raced in this category, you have Cole Harris, who's raced in this, the Asher I cannot say his name. Asher
Bazonsky.
And then Leland Dragnault.
No
R. How do you say that name?
I would say Dayon. Denault.
There you go. Denault.
He's from California. If he was from Quebec, I would pronounce it differently, but yeah.
Yeah. So those drivers come in with FZ65 experience, racing out the Pro Kart Challenge out there on the West Coast. While the rest of the drivers, again, we don't know exactly all their different backgrounds. We know Slate Harold's racing up in the mini Swift category. A couple of these other drivers we've seen in the mini divisions across the country. We have a second generation racer in Ryan Crow. That's John Crow's son. That's going to be in the FC65 Arrive and Drive program. So, again, it'll be kind of learning about some of these drivers things we might not know. So,
well, and as you said, Arizona, Indiana, California, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Nevada, Missouri, and Indiana all involved. It's a good cross section for this Arrive and Drive program. Everybody, of course, on the factory car chassis. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really fun category to watch, I think, throughout the weekend.
Yeah, we'll have kind of a little more insight into that in our Paddock Insider. Obviously, they're going to be set up at the pavilion area that's in the paddock there that we've seen right there next to the grid. So they'll have their own pit spots. We'll definitely be checking that out first thing when we get Trackside Friday morning. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to your Paddock Insider coverage, Dave. It should be good stuff. When are you taking off? When you Thursday afternoon on route down there?
Yeah, Thursday afternoon, trying to get my 8 hours of sleep in over these couple of days. I'm going to wrap up some of the work here, getting the podcast loaded, everything ready to go. So we'll head down Thursday afternoon, get to the hotel, get up bright and early Friday morning, and head to the racetrack.
There you have it, folks. Your preview OutLap podcast for this coming weekend's RMC Trophy Final at Newcastle Motorsports Park, July 31st to August 1st. The actual dates for the event, David, in their first segment went through the fact that they'll be on track with unofficial practice on Thursday, continuing official practice Friday, warm-up qualifying heat racing on Saturday. Same goes for the superheat and finals on Sunday. Dave, just should be a pretty great weekend. Again, in the end, a number of drivers are going to be added to their national teams to go to one of the coolest races in all of karting, the Rotax Grand Finals.
It is. I keep telling people that, and they don't believe me. And then they go and they're like, "You're right." And right. And again, this is an event that you have to earn your way there.
That's it.
It's not just you're not buying your way in or any of that. It's a chance to. It's again, we call it the Olympics of karting. You get to race with people from your country, pit with them, get to experience kind of a unique travel and international event with them. So new friendships are built, and it's just a really cool. The atmosphere is an amazing experience, and then you're racing on top of that.
Yeah, David, and you nailed it. You're not racing for your team or a brand, whatever. You're racing for your country. That's the cool factor, right? You've got, if you're Team USA, you're Team USA. You're Team Canada.
Well,
you wear the suit, man.
Not Team UK.
No, I'm saying you're racing for your country. Which is
I know, but UK it's a joke because they just race each other like they don't care. Anyway, it's just fun to watch.
There you go. All right, folks, that wraps things up for this edition of the EKN OutLap, episode 110. David Colby, Trackside, Friday morning to get things underway at this year's RMC Trophy Final. Tune in to all of his coverage, social media, of course, race reports, you name it. He'll be leveraging all we have to provide everyone with top 10 results throughout the weekend. Keep you connected to the event down at Newcastle Motorsports Park. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the OutLap. On behalf of David Cole, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.